Is there nothing we can do about this obstacle?
I can attack if need be. Might I be of assistance?
Another statue. Mayhap 'twill yield us aught of use.
I can foresee no reason not to go see it up close. One can see far to the distance from here.
We are alone here, methinks. Perhaps we might stop a moment and find our bearings.
You have my support.
I suppose there can be no harm in bringing this along.
We cannot expect gleaming treasures round every corner. A fine place to harvest some ingredients.
No harm in picking a few.
I'll carefully conserve my strength and endeavor to survive every battle by way of sound strategy and defensive tactics.
Hold here a moment. I shall bid them open the gate.
Who's that you've brought with you, Watchhead, sir?
An Arisen, by all appearances.
An Arisen? Another pretender, you mean? I see the Sovereign's ascension has done little to stop such charlatans from plying their trade.
"'Tis uncertain. This one commands the loyalty of the pawns.
What? Impossible. You know as well as I do that there can be but one Arisen, and he's up in the palace.
I'm well aware of how preposterous the idea is, thank you. However, as I do not believe it my place to rule on such a matter, I will make my report to the capital. If the claim is false, we will be rewarded handsomely for our trouble. If the claim is true, however, who can say? All's been arranged. Come, let us pass through the gate.
Come to think of it, our ranks have gone unchanged for a while now.
Our combined might is a force to be reckoned with. I say we forge on together, for as long as we may.
Anyone gives me trouble, they'll taste of steel.
An ox cart was meant to meet us, yet 'tis nowhere in sight. Aught may have befallen it. Best we press on.
I'll gather this. It might be of use.
Hubris is man's worst enemy.
Pray, allow me to open yon chest.
I'm surrounded by winches on all sides.
This is generally used as a material.
I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time.
As a matter of fact, curious thing. One of my former masters chose to hire only women. I wonder why.
Each to their own.
Is everyone all right? More marks of the dragon's fury. Its rampage must have weakened the earth here.
I would have preferred not to have to fight so soon, but at least I know I am up to the challenge.
We must not let down our guard.
Let my magics grant you an elemental boon. Tremendous work!
Once more!
dare say the cart shan't be traversing this. Onward! It might await us on the road ahead.
I will finish this, here and now!
I'll put this to use.
I grant you glory and fame. You truly are formidable, Arisen.
Dare I say it? We trounced our foe, well and true.
Overconfidence is an enemy in and of itself. Let us instead strive to better ourselves with every battle.
I'd wager there's aught to be found here.
We ought to take a closer look.
Ah, I'll take that. We might find a use for it.
What's this? We're trapped! Fire! The Cyclops! To think we'd encounter one here of all places!
Tis apt to lose its balance at any moment. What say we give it a helping hand?
Strike fast and true, and our quarry shall fall.
Curative magics are at your disposal. Wait a moment. Let my magic imbue your weapon with the fury of the elements. I'll combine my magic with yours, and you might cast the spell more quickly. Hold worthy of caution. Lord save our best will do.
Understood. 'Tis time we made it to inform the people.
You have my gratitude, sir. 'Twould seem I misjudged you. I had taken you for another false arisen. Goodness knows we see a lot of them. Yet the value you showed in coming to our aid has dispelled such thoughts. Here, take this, as a mark of my trust. Give it to one of the sentinels stationed at the gates to the capital, and you'll be granted an audience with Captain Brandt. You're free to make your own way to the capital now. I see no need to keep you under constant watch, And I'm sure you'll breathe a little easier as well, aye? Of course, if you'd rather continue to accompany us, you are still welcome to join us on the ox cart. 'Tis your decision. Well now. The road's blocked. The cart can't get through like this. A powerful current ought to set this rock to crumbling, if we could summon one.
Look here. Water is seeping through the cracks.
Ox carts make for relatively safer travel.
Fewer monsters are to be...
Ah, here's the cart now. Do you intend to join us? Very well. Board the ox cart and we'll be off.
I'll gather this. It might be of use.
What rotten luck! I grant you fire's blaze! Use it well! You are in need of healing. Allow me. Wait right there.
Seems we drove them off. You've my thanks for aiding us. Vernworth isn't far from here. Will you join us the rest of the way? All right. Into the ox cart, then.
I was informed of your coming would be arisen.
Captain Brandt, this individual summoned a pawn through a rift stone. Several witnesses can attest to it. Though I admit I had my doubts at first. 'Twould seem this is no mere deceiver.
This one's not a bad sort. Saved our hides on the way here.
As decreed by the great will of our world, there can only be one arisen. That arisen now resides within the palace. Indeed, he is our sovereign and the rightful ruler of Vermont. It follows, therefore, that this ruffian before us is naught but a pretender. You must submit to questioning. If you value your life, you will not attempt to flee. I shall conduct the interrogation myself. Stand watch outside. I beg your forgiveness for my insolence, Your Majesty. If the Queen Regent had learned of your existence, I fear your life would have been in peril. I had no choice but to treat you as a pretender, lest my actions draw suspicion from watchful eyes. Then you have truly lost your memory? In that case, mayhap I ought to explain the situation before we proceed. You, and no other, are the sovereign, the only legitimate ruler of this kingdom. Some days past, you confronted the dragon in the village of Melv, whereupon you became arisen. The people rejoiced, for our true liege had finally appeared, and in Vermont's long years of council rule. Yet, not all celebrated your coming. Your arrival would have robbed the Queen Regent Disa of everything. During the time of the previous consul, she acted as a queen in her own right, ruling the palace as she saw fit. And just after the consul's passing, when 'twas all but certain that her son would take his father's place, word reached the castle that the Arisen had been found. To Disa, your Majesty's very existence is naught but an obstacle to her own family's continued prosperity. The assassination of the Arisen is an impossible feat for mortal hands. Thus, Disa chose to abduct your Majesty while you recovered from your wounds, in order to rob you of your memory with a fell curse and sell you to Batal as a slave. Following that, she prepared a replacement to serve as the Sovereign in your stead. A mere puppet. However, with your Majesty returned, I have no intention of twiddling my thumbs as Disa plays her games. I shall devise some plans to further our cause. Pray, visit me a night in the tavern that we might discuss them. This one's cleared of all suspicion, and has my permission to remain in the capital. You are to trouble the good sir no further. Are we clear?
Pray forgive me, I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Consign it! Get back here! You there! Did you see an urchin in a cap run past just now? Can you tell me which way he went? Many thanks. I'll catch that wretch yet.
You're a kind one, aren't you? 'Twould seem I am in your debt. In fact, there's aught I would ask of you if you've the time to spare.
Aha! There you are!
Oh, apologies, but our chat will have to wait. Till next we meet. Farewell.
There's a ladder here.
We ought to put it to good use.
I'll go and open the chest. Ox carts don't travel at night anymore. Didn't you know that? Monsters are apt to grow bold with the sun setting, you see. 'Twould be the height of madness to take one's cart out after dark, particularly when 'tis loaded up with goods. Should you require a cart services, you'd best wait for the morn, methinks.
Hmm? Oh, 'tis you! You're the good sir who aided me in Malv. Thank you again, sir. You don't know how grateful I am to you. Oi, sir! We've started selling that medicine you gave me at our shop. Why don't you come see? I don't like half as many lives as my parents.
Say, have you been to Hart? 'Tis a quaint little village down by the sea. Well, if you do visit, you might want to give the old man who lives there a what I hear. He sets out to sea on his... As if that wasn't queer enough, I cannot fathom his obsession.
Well met, sir. Forgive my presumption, but were you the one who gave my granddaughter that medicine in Melv? I thought so. She's not stopped talking of her adventure since she arrived home. You have my sincerest thanks for aiding her. That girl's always running off on some fool's errand or other. For all my chiding. Once she gets an idea under her bonnet, there's simply no talking her out of it. Now listen, 'tisn't much, but I'd fain offer you a discount on my wares. Pray, make good use of it, won't you? Welcome and well met. Don't think I've forgotten your discount now. I'll knock a few gold pieces off aught you buy. So spend away, my good sir. Do come again.
He was.
I've trained for this.
What should I do? Now, where was I bound again?
I've just recalled a little tidbit I heard from the locals.
Regarding the Vermundian military, yes?
Indeed. Tell us, there's been a shift in the chain of command.
Well met, son. How might I be of service?
This really is funny, craftsmanship.
I've all manner of arms for sale. Come, have yourself a look.
Our packs are heavier, and our purses... far lighter.
An investment made for safer travels can hardly be called extravagant.
Welcome to Bjorn's Armory, and quality's what you need if you want to survive. So before you check the price, just remember... Mine's... Many thanks. I appreciate the business.
Oh, what does this say? Let's have a look then.
I hope the day's treating you well.
Go on, have a look. Go on, have a look. Many thanks.
Hasn't anyone got a coin to spend?
I might nod off if I'm not careful.
This isn't much to go on.
Where to now?
Crowd that soon, not a single
Puts me
heavy
in the
class.
mood for a song, it does.
Why is everyone always in such a...
Welcome.
Your Majesty, your time 'tis not a matter for prying ears. Pray, let us speak out here. As I informed you when last we spoke, the palace is filled with the Queen Regent's sycophants. Should Disa denounce your Majesty as a false arisen, few would elect to doubt her. Yet if we are to prove your identity, I believe there is no occasion more suitable than the coronation. It was delayed so that the sovereign, that is, the false arisen, could convalesce in the palace, but the date has now been set. The central players in the court ought all be in attendance. It would be a fine opportunity to display your Majesty's power. None would be able to deny that you are the true arisen then. There is a problem, however. Entry to such an event is limited to the chosen few. Only select members of the nobility and citizens who have contributed greatly to Vermont's continued prosperity will be granted entry. If your Majesty is to be counted among them, you will need to attend to a number of tasks. Pray, allow me to summarize them for you. The citizenry have called upon my soldiers to cull monsters that plague the land. I dare say, 'twould be a fine contribution were you to accomplish these tasks unaided. What say you? Might I ask for your cooperation in this matter? I thank you, Your Majesty. There are 3 locales that have seen significant trouble of late. The first is Trevo Mine, to the northwest. We've had reports of goblins swarming in great numbers. Next is Half Village, west of Burnworth. I believe soldiers have already been dispatched to cull an infestation of saurians there. Finally, there is a call for someone to locate a group of soldiers tasked with delivering freight. They were last seen crossing the second bridge on the eastern edge of Vermont.
There is no shortage of beasts that need culling in this world.
There is surely no challenge to which we cannot rise.
Trevo Mine is but a stone's throw from here. Follow me. I will guide you to the location.
Well met, sir.
Over here, if you please.
Well met, sir. Fancy a gander? Fine wares all.
Some might find cleaning tedious, but not...
Could use a dash of sauce.
Let me out of bed at this hour.
Well met, sir. Fancy a gander? Fine wares all.
To stir up shop.
Yon path leads not to our destination. If you would prefer to explore, I shall guide you another time.
The Arisen decides our path. We have but...
Greetings. Welcome to the Guildhall. Here, we conduct all manner of procedures pertaining to vocations. If there is aught I may assist you with, simply say the word. Forgive me, but I'm afraid we are not accepting registration for warriors or sorcerers at this time. You see, as we currently have no archer staves or greatswords on hand, we are unable to outfit new members. And we cannot simply purchase more.
as a delivery of arms intended for the local armory and other guilds in this domain was plundered by goblins. So regrettably, I cannot assist you. Unless you were to procure a weapon yourself, that is. Let me see. What else can I tell you of our guild? Certain vocations are unavailable at present, save to applicants who already possess the requisite equipment. Let me see. What else can I tell you of our guild? Methinks Roderick will be able to tell you aught of the stolen shipment. He runs the local armory, and we purchase almost all of our stock from him. May fortune smile upon you, sir.
Whence might we procure such a thing?
Well met, sir.
This should be of use. You can count on me to fly to your aid in your hour of need, Master. Knowing when to use curatives is my specialty. I'll carefully conserve my strength and endeavor to survive every...
There's a ladder here.
We ought to put it to good use.
The rules at your Good evening, sir. I trust you fared all right on the roads, despite the hour? Much obliged. This inspires naught but misgivings. Well met, sir.
I don't know what to do.
Seems my feet always lead me here.
see a look at my wares?
That looks promising. Any ideas as to how...
Hoi, friend. Klaus sent word that you've agreed to rescue some of my pilfered equipment. I'd be grateful for aught you can reclaim, truly. Fair warning. Goblins are behind these ox cart raids, I've since learned. No doubt they're hoarding the stolen arms in their den. From the tell of it, their lair lies somewhere along the western road. Pray do be careful. If aught were to go awry, 'twould weigh heavily on my heart. Losing my wares for good would make me sore, but no sack of gold can compare to a fellow life, eh?
It seems we must venture to Trevo Mine. I believe it lies to the northwest of Vernworth. Follow me, Master. I shall guide you to the location.
We're in your hands, sir. Much obliged.
Good day, sir. What might you be looking for?
Precious little time.
Might you consider lightening your pack, Master?
If you feel overburdened, mayhap I could carry some things for you.
Pray, follow me. Tis this way.
Hang in there, Master. I am coming to assist.
go again. Fight. To arms. Understood. Not bad. They nearly did it. I want you roaring flame.
Ord felt from the beast that it was lost.
battle took more out of me than I would have liked. I knew that I could count upon your strength, Arisen.
My knowledge from other worlds tells me that a forgotten riftstone lies near here. Shall I lead the way? One moment. I believe we are bound for... Yes, I know the place. Pray, allow me to show you the way.
'Twould seem we've little choice but to set out for the place.
I know precisely when a curative is needed, Master. You'll never fall in battle so long as I'm around.
Follow me, if you would. The sky is radiant this night. I feel at peace to gaze upon it.
Right you are.
Let my magics grant you an elemental boon. At once, Master.
A common reward. Frustratingly so.
We cannot expect gleaming treasures round every corner. I would be glad to demonstrate the efficacy of my mage skills, should you desire magical assistance. I would gladly be of aid, Arisen.
To charge ahead may be to rush headlong into danger. Let us take...
'Tis in caverns such as these that monsters thrive.
Narrow passages may await us. Be on your guard.
Understood.
Very well. I shall go on ahead.
We've got goblins! We have no means of exploiting our enemy's weakness. One of us is being trapped!
well.
This calls for a curative. You're like to grow overburdened if you keep picking up every little trinket you find.
We have found a material.
I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time.
Water is nigh invisible in this gloom. No few times has an overconfident step soaked my boats.
Ah, yes. That sounds familiar.
Let my magic imbue your weapon with the fury of the elements!
A treasure chest. Shall we see if we can't make our way over to it? But methinks there is still a way forward.
not let down our guard.
The prison has been torched! Quick! Douse the flames!
After victims are myriad in numbers, that fact will never be forgotten. Now that's a surprise!
Crouching roaring flame!
It was a glorious success.
Let us try for the same result with our next attack. We could obtain some rare materials here, if it pleases you, Master.
Well spotted. Shall we see what we can find?
Our task is complete.
Well said.
Over here, if you would. Putting that aside, have you grown accustomed to the adventuring life? If there's anything you're unsure of, I would fain be of aid.
My thanks, truly. I hope only to be of assistance.
At once, Master.
Tis overly narrow here, and ill-suited to combat.
Let us proceed with caution. Eyes peeled, ears pricked.
We should be able to move this boulder with our combined might.
Would anyone care to push? I espy a hot goblin. Our foe is susceptible to lightning attacks.
Let my magics grant you an elemental boon.
The arisen is being torched. Quick, douse the flames!
Nicely done! Methinks we could move this boulder, if we work together.
Would anyone care to push? Then I shall remain by your side.
I must confess, naught rattles me quite so much as the unexpected snuffing of my lantern light.
Ah, yes. That sounds familiar.